My GF declared she's polyamorous so she could bang her ex. I responded by dating her half-sis, now she's having a meltdown. I'd been with Jessica for 3 years when she suddenly announced over dinner that she'd been doing some soul-searching. She said she realized she was polyamorous and needed to explore that side of herself. I sat there with my fork halfway to my mouth, completely blindsided. We'd never talked about this before. Not once in 3 years had she mentioned wanting an open relationship or being interested in other people. When I asked what brought this on, she got defensive and said I should be more open-minded about her journey of self-discovery. 2 days later, she told me she wanted to start seeing her ex-boyfriend Tyler. The same Tyler she'd sworn was just a friend. The same Tyler whose texts she'd hide whenever I walked into the room. Suddenly, everything made sense. This wasn't about polyamory or self-discovery. She just wanted permission to cheat without the guilt. I told her fine, if we're doing this polyamory thing, then it goes both ways. She immediately backtracked and said she needed time to feel comfortable with me seeing other people. Classic. She wanted all the freedom with none of the consequences. Within a week, she was posting pictures with Tyler everywhere, holding hands at coffee shops, cozy dinner dates, the whole thing. Meanwhile, she'd have a meltdown if I so much as liked another girl's Instagram post. The double standard was insane. Then I met her half-sister Emma at a family barbecue. Jessica's dad had remarried years ago, and Emma was his stepdaughter from that marriage. She was a year younger than us, worked as a nurse, and was genuinely cool to talk to. We ended up chatting for like 2 hours about hiking trails and terrible reality TV shows. Before I left, Emma asked for my number to send me this documentary she'd been talking about. Jessica saw the whole thing and didn't care because in her mind, Emma was family, so it didn't count. Big mistake. Emma and I started texting every day. Nothing flirty at first, just friendly conversation, but then she asked if I wanted to grab coffee and catch that new horror movie she'd been wanting to see. I figured why not? Jessica's out with Tyler 3 nights a week. I'm allowed to have friends too, right? The coffee date was actually really fun. Emma was easy to talk to and didn't play mind games like Jessica did. She knew about the whole polyamory situation because Jessica had been bragging about it to the family. Emma thought it was ridiculous and told me I deserved better. After the movie, we went for a walk and ended up talking until midnight. That's when Emma kissed me. I'm not gonna lie, I kissed her back. The next morning, I told Jessica I went on a date. She barely looked up from her phone where she was texting Tyler and said, "That's great, babe, I'm happy you're exploring too." I mentioned it was with Emma. The phone hit the floor. Jessica's face went completely white, then red, then purple. She started screaming about betrayal and how could I do this to her family. I reminded her that she was literally dating her ex-boyfriend and that polyamory means I can date other people too. She said this was different because Emma was family. I pointed out that Emma wasn't blood related and that Jessica had opened this door herself. She called me every name in the book, said I was doing this to hurt her on purpose, that I crossed a line by going after someone in her family. The irony was completely lost on her. Jessica demanded I stop seeing Emma immediately. I asked if she was planning to stop seeing Tyler. She said that wasn't the same thing and I was being manipulative by comparing the two situations. I told her we were either both polyamorous or both monogamous. She couldn't have it both ways anymore. That's when Jessica completely spiraled. She called Emma crying, begging her to stop seeing me. Emma told her to grow up and deal with the consequences of her own choices. Jessica then tried to get their parents involved, claiming I was tearing the family apart. Her dad actually laughed and said maybe she shouldn't have opened a can of worms she couldn't handle. The final straw came when Tyler dumped Jessica because he didn't want to deal with all her drama. Suddenly, she wanted to go back to being monogamous and work on our relationship. I told her I was actually happy with Emma now and we were making it official. Jessica showed up at my apartment at 2 a.m. sobbing, saying she made a huge mistake and the polyamory thing was stupid. She admitted she only wanted it so she could be with Tyler without losing me as her backup plan. I told her that ship had sailed and closed the door. Emma and I have been together for 8 months now. Jessica still sends me long texts about how I betrayed her, but her friends have all told me she brought this on herself. Turns out opening your relationship works both ways.